Comments are welcomed. Say what you want, but, you know, I just hope I don't get a call from the legal department. Hey everybody, welcome back. Totally different format for a video this week. We're not at the cabin, we're actually in my shop, in my garage. Well, something needs to be said, something needs to be said, and I don't know. I don't have to say this, but I guess you could say something grinds my gears about the marketing of a certain company out there. Now, not even the marketing, just the units that are being sold now to the public. I'm a mechanic, I've done this. 1989 I went to college. In 1990 I started working in the trade. I worked for a couple major players for 10 or 11 years, run my own shop since January 2000. So, and I still have a shop going. I've just downscaled a lot. I've seen a couple Snowthrowers in over 30 years of doing this. Now, here's the deal. I tell it from the gut, and I'm going to tell you what I think of these things mechanically. I'm not going to say any names in any of this video either, because I don't know what happens when the algorithm goes to put my video through and all that, and it's the AI that does it. Keywords make them up by saying names, so I'm not going to say any names. I think you guys can read. I think everybody knows what kind of machine this is. A lot of people don't realize that these machines, and this one here is 2 years old. Not even. This is barely 2 years old. This is probably 12 to 15 now. That was actually sold through another company that, I guess I could say the name, Sears Canada, which are gone now. They've been out of business for a while. They did the warranty for these guys for 9 years. So I've seen a couple of these machines. You can see, I'm going to show you in a minute, even when you look at this blower housing part itself, they're identical. On the back here, the way they're stamped out the rib, these are the same machine. This is an upgraded version of this. Well, let's talk about the quality, what this was, and what kind of piece of, not a great machine this was when it first came out. I serviced a pile of these things under warranty. I had to. Check it out. Now, it's kind of hard to see, and this shop is small, so it's not the easiest to film. This thing is driven, this is your auger lever, this is your traction lever. This makes it blow, this makes it go. This used to have a lever in the middle here that you move back and forth, and that's how you move your chute around. First problem. Well, guess what? Well, this one, like many other ones, that cable, there's two cables running through to this, your chute. Remember the old days when you used to do this? That worked quite well. I'm not sure why they had to put cables on to turn it left and right. To make it even better, they put a cable on this guy to make it go up and down. Well, how good does that work? Oh, that cable failed too. Okay. This is about a 15-year-old machine. Thousands of these things were sold, and there was enough issues with it, with two cables here and a cable on the side. To control it down here, you have a linkage rod and a spring at the base. To control the drive over here, you also have a linkage rod and a spring at the base, okay? So what that basically means in a nutshell is it's bad enough the way they designed it, but these cables you can't even get in. I think you can, but you have to buy the whole controller unit with the two cables. And last I checked, a few years ago, it was like $150, $175 part. The chute control cable, to move the chute up and down. This is your deflector cable here, which again is gone in this. Last I checked, they're about $100. You can put one of those cables on. I've done it under warranty for people when I used to work for these guys, for Sears. And didn't work for them, I was contract. I would install that cable, and the next day they'd call me and say it already froze. No way to stop that. Poor engineering. This is a 15-year-old unit. Let's look at something that's 2 years old, built by the same company. So let's take a machine that in the past they knew they had a bunch of problems with cables failing on them. But what did they do to this? Well, they still have these two here, which will fail. They have one here for the deflector, which hasn't failed yet, thank God, because again, this thing's only 2 years old. Well, let's have a look under the back and see what they got here. This is awesome. Let's take the hoist up here and I'm going to show you guys something that's absolutely ridiculous. Watch this. And it gets better, it really does. This isn't the end of this yet. Check this out. Cables. Oh, another cable. Cables. Cables, okay? Well, guess what? The auger cable that blows the snow in this thing is broken already, okay? Well, here's where it gets way better. Way better. You wait till you see the engineering on this. This was a real brainstorm of some bonehead. So you really got to see this to believe it. So over top of all the freaking cables that are all over this machine now, which are a nightmare because there is issues with them. The auger cable that's broken now, we're going to pull it down in. Check this out where it goes down in here. Watch this. This cable divides to two. Okay? It splits off to two cables. Well, guess where these cables go in the front? This is even neater. Apparently they had to re-engineer a Snowthrower for something. I guess they think they did something good here. In 30 years of seeing Snowthrowers, ones that are cable, and they're not all linkage like this. Lots of them have cables that engage them, okay? But it's a single cable. One cable does the job of two. And there's a major competitor that builds a whole lot of different machines that are all different colors and all the same. I'm not going to say any names. Their cable goes onto that side over there. It pulls over this arm down here. When you push over, this is called your idler pulley. Get you a little closer and see if I can show you guys. Right here is your idler pulley. When that pulley goes over that way, it tightens your belt. Your belt is going around. Your engine's running. So normally, when you pull on the cable, it pulls this over to tighten your belt. One system. And normally, like that other one, even though it doesn't have a cable, what it has is a linkage that goes through. But the way they all normally work, your pulley is on the top of the arm. Your brake is on the bottom. By law, these things have to have a brake on them that will stop the auger when you let off the lever. So what they decided to do with this machine, normally all you have is on the top you have the pulley, and on the bottom you have the brake, and it pivots in the middle. So as your pulley goes over, your brake comes off. Okay? One motion. One spring to pull back on the brake when you let off, so everything stops and you let off the lever. What did these guys decide to do this time? Well, I guess they didn't sell enough cables in the past. They split the cable off, and luckily I've got a new one here. This is another story. They split the cable. On this side is the auger brake, and on the other side goes the engagement. So one half of it pulls on the arm to take it off. The other half pulls on the brake to take the brake off. So what are they doing? They're putting twice the strain on this little cable. And look at the size of that fella. This is the replacement one. I pity anybody that has bought one of these pieces of garbage. But you know what? Salesmen are salesmen. Salesmen will sell ice to Eskimos if they have the opportunity. I'm a mechanic by trade, and I tell it how it is. These are one of the biggest pieces of junk I've ever seen yet. And good luck. And there's a lot of these models being sold out there right now. They're still sitting out there on the showroom floors. You want to hear a better part? I am still connected with all the distributors that I can buy my parts, right? I am connected with the distributor that sells parts for these guys. If they can get this cable for me, it's going to take them a minimum of 4 weeks right now to get it. If they can get it. Is that their fault? No. Why? Because the parts aren't even available for these things. That's the biggest issue now with this company. They want to sell product, they don't have any parts to back it up anymore. So that's my rant for the day. I don't normally do this out here, but again, anybody that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, you know, I can do a more detailed video on this, but this is the most totally unnecessary thing I've ever seen on a machine that's being sold as a high-end Snowthrower. These are a piece of trash, I'll tell you right now. I've worked on so many of those in the past, and those ones over there were bad enough. These are way worse. So, and again, the first model of these that come out, they used to have problems under the control panel here because this is your gear selection. Well, they beefed this up and made this metal under here because the first ones, and there's a spring, you're forcing it against a spring to go up into gear. But they've improved it a little bit because the first ones, you had to push so hard to get that engaged, it would tear out of here, and this was all plastic, you'd have to replace this whole upper handlebar panel. I did a couple of them under warranty too. I tell you, that wasn't a fun job. So, because these machines have now been on the market, variations of them, 10 or 12 years now. So, again, to the guys that, you know, build and manufacture and engineer these, I don't know what I have to say for you boys. I'd like to know the engineering genius to come up with this piece of freaking crap double cable. So, totally unnecessary. So, luckily the customer got this cable, and it should have been a warranty thing, I think, right from the start, but you know it's not going to be. And I have to figure out how to get this cable off, change it up. It doesn't look any harder to change than any other cable, but again, the end of it's in here to pull the, to engage it. One side engage and the other side pulls the brake off. Like, what a ridiculous, ridiculous setup. But I'm going to put the new cable on. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. And just to let you know, the way you can identify these quite easy, I've already removed this piece. See this plastic piece that sits here? If you see that where this light bar bracket, if you see this plastic thing with the cable going onto it right here, that's your issue. Right there. If you see this plastic piece right here on the side, I noticed they have a new track drive machine out there. It's got the same friggin' piece of garbage on it. So, you know, don't have much faith in this company anymore. But what do? I just repair this stuff for a living, right? Anyways, gonna put this new cable on. The only good thing I can say is I don't think it's going to be hard to change. It looks like a pretty easy change. And a good thing, because you're going to change lots of them. People are going to end up changing lots of these. This is quite a unit. Even better, I'm backwards. This is the brake. This is the auger engagement right here. The brake is the other one. Isn't that something? Yep, the other one is the brake on the other side. See if I can get at that. Well, there you go. Back in business. She's working. And see, that's the way it works. You guys want to watch, you'll see the pulley. This is your pulley. Watch when I push the cable. See it go over? I'm going to pull the engine over by hand. See it's turning? When I push and pull, everything's turning, see? Give you a little better idea how these things actually operate under there, I guess. Not everybody really realizes. I'm going to tell you something else. This cable's not going to last. I know right now it's not. Just the effort, the strain that's on that to push that down like to here, you can see it's just straining everything. Even the angle. The angle here and the way this goes up, like just brutal. Absolutely brutal, the force. This is plastic. The next thing it'll break, it'll probably tear the side, break this plastic or something that's real cold out, right? But look at the plastic. These plastic triggers, this friggin' crap here, whatever this is all about. And it's oh, the locks. Yeah, that's the handlebar locks. Like plastic, plastic, plastic princess and just cables everywhere. Not my thing. Not my thing at all. Sorry, guys. Anyway, enough ranting about this machine for now. I don't know what you guys are going to think of a video like this because I don't normally do this kind of things. But I'm just calling it how it is and calling a manufacturer out because you're selling trash to the public. But what do they care? They do sales. So anybody that has one of these, sucks because I don't know what you're going to do. When those cables break and you can't get them. I can't even get one of these cables right now, again, within a month. And just lucky this guy got one through the dealer, and I have a feeling it's the last one they could get their hands on. So it come to a head that I had to say something because, again, even before, there's lots of models out too that have the single auger cable, and the auger cable goes to the other side and it's got the one lever thing like this red one does, and any other Snowthrower has. For some reason, they had to make this one even more complicated because there's not enough cables on it yet, right? They had to add a couple more. Way to go. Anyway, gonna put this thing back together, call the customer, and he's gonna be happy that I got her done. And on to the next one, I guess. On to the next one. But sometimes it makes you wonder how some of these guys can, you know, do what they do. They, just the way it is, I guess. It's just the way it is. Anyways, some Sparky at the garage, because I'm going to have a playlist. I'm going to do a little bit of shop stuff out here, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, might even build something here or there. Who knows? I'm always in a fabricating mood. Sometimes I like to fabricate new things too. So, but what I will do is, I've got the playlist right on my channel that's in the shop. So anybody interested in there, check it out. I have my ammo can stove in there. I'm going to start adding a few more files on there. So, like and subscribe, share the video. Comments are welcomed. Say what you want, but, you know, I just hope I don't get a call from the legal department. Live simply, remain grateful. Talk to you guys very soon. Maybe at the cabin.